Johnson.
We're here with heavyweight contender Eddie Chambers, who on January 21st is already practicing his head movement. Takes on Sergei Liakhovich in the first ever main event on the NBC Sports Network. Eddie, what's happening?
Oh, you know, just flexing. Anyway, no, I'm good. I'm training extremely hard, and well, one of the greatest forms I could possibly ever be in, as you can see. Joking. No, I feel great. I think this is going to be an extremely good fight, great fight. A bit one-sided in my favor, but I'm just looking forward to the opportunity to be on this, being the first. Everybody wants to be the first to do something, and this is probably one of the best.
You haven't fought since February, and apparently it's the last time you sat in a barber's chair too. So what have you been doing besides letting this bird's nest grow on your head?
You know you like it. Look good. Nah, but I've been training. I've been training a little bit.
Yeah, but you look good. You look good.
This is why we call him Johnson. If you ever seen Dave Chappelle, you'll know why we call him Mark Johnson. Anyway, Mark Silky Johnson. But anyway, I've been working extremely hard, almost too hard at times, and sometimes you just got to take it back a bit. But I've been doing so much preparing. I've had a fight still scheduled with Tony and had an injury.
Let me interrupt you. You read a lot of stuff that maybe you didn't want that fight, or I know you read the stuff on the internet, whatnot. Now's your time to tell the Eddie Chambers side of the story here.
Well, one thing I can say is Tony's a really good fighter. Awkward, exceptionally awkward, and whatever he does, it works. I don't care how it looks, he's successful. That never put me off before. I've fought awkward, I've fought talented, I've fought.
You fought Vladimir.
Why would I be afraid of a challenge? I'm the one preaching, and I'm not the kind of person that goes and not to practice what I preach. I've been going around saying, I wanted to be more of a throwback kind of a fighting division, and not just boxing in general. And then I'm going to go and pull out of a fight because I don't want to fight somebody because I'm afraid. Now,
when you read that stuff, does it piss you off?
It doesn't, because I don't allow, honestly, I try not to allow people to, influence my feelings based upon what they feel, what they say. But sometimes, everybody gets a little bit of a, kind of a chip on the shoulder when they hear something. There was a guy that I'll never forget this. Before I fought Vladimir, this guy was saying how out of shape I was and I didn't deserve a shot at the title. He obviously didn't look at my resume. You know what I mean? So I felt kind of disrespected. And the first thing I would have done is once I won that fight, I would get right up there on national TV and say, yeah, you, and say his name, and say, now look. But you know what? It's very, very childish and selfish. And I want to just go up there and prove somebody. No. I'm born to prove people wrong. I'm a tiny heavyweight competing against giants. For me to make it to where I've made it to already, I've already proved the doubters wrong. I've already overachieved. So I'm not even, I'm just going to take the high road on those things. And but I do want to address them in the sense to say, look, I'll fight anybody, anytime, anywhere. And Tony, good friend of mine, great fighter. I got a lot of respect for him, and I want to wish him good luck in his opportunity for another title shot. But he knows. Me and Tony done sparred so many times. We know each other. He knows me. If you really want to ask somebody, we done interviews together. Ask Tony. He knows how I am. You know what I mean? I may be tiny in size, but I got a humongous heart.
Let's fast forward. January 21st, Sergei Liakhovich. Last time people seen him, he was getting bounced over the ring by Robert Helenius. The fact that he's coming off a beating, without, when you suffered your, beating to Klitschko, you had the one get well fight with Rossi where you perform well and maybe gain some confidence back. He's down. He's fighting a guy. He's now come off a fight where he broke his nose in the fight, and he got beat up a little bit in the fight. Just play into your advantage and kind of maybe get on him a little bit earlier and try to take him back to that place.
Yeah, you could say that. But at the same time, I believe he's going to come in, maybe not as confident as he once was. But then again, who knows? You know what I mean? Maybe one of those guys who's never shaken, and that's great for him. But at the same time, I think he's going to be sorely mistaken once he get in there thinking he's going to be able to deal with anything I have to bring to the table.
You got James Bashir now in your corner. How is that going?
It's going great. You know, James Ali Bashir is probably one of the better trainers. Most of the boxing guys know about him. All of the boxing people know about him. Not many of the regular fans that just are fans of boxing know about him. But he's one of the better trainers that there is.
He had mentioned that he kind of orchestrated a knockout like I believe it's Maurice Harris, right?
Maurice Harris.
So
exactly.
I mean, what's you guys been implementing in some of the stuff that went on in that fight?
Well, I think you know, me and Maurice Harris have very similar styles.
Yeah, kind of slick,
slick boxers with speed. Although Maurice Harris is 6'4", that's the only difference. But the fact that we are similar makes it easier for him to come up with a plan. You know what I mean? I'm probably a bit faster because I'm smaller, and more mobile because I'm smaller. But it doesn't, but maybe not his head is hard. But I think the way he plans for fights is based on the opponent. You know what I mean? He looks at what I have, and then he bases what we're going to do off of what the opponent brings to the table. Therefore, coming up with a great plan to eliminate the issue, which will be the opponent.
What's the timetable now? It seems like, I mean, obviously you want to get to that world championship situation. You got Povetkin, who's probably going to fight Marco Huck, and maybe Hasim Rahman, who's #1 by the WBA. You got Vladimir, who he's got Mormack, and maybe he's got to do Tony Thompson. We've got Vitali, who's probably going to fight Derek Chisora in February, and then there's been talk about maybe something else going on. So that might, I mean, it could have you out of the picture, at least the title picture for a year, possibly.
Because I mean, it's not a too long of a trip for his fans coming, not for mine either.
Yeah.
So I think the opportunity for a fight like that. This is why I love this. This is why I love this networking. What Main Events is doing is because they're making very, very, very live fights. I mean, this is the first one, and this already looks good. So the more that boxing fans and the media and get behind it, the better it will be. So therefore, I think opportunities for me fighting Tomas Sadambek or any of these other guys who are out here that are great competition. It will be a great fight, a great competition for me. Is even more possible, and I'm looking forward to it. And I would love for that fight to happen. Not to say that I don't respect him. I do respect him a great deal. But at the same time, I believe I can beat him, obviously. But I also think it will be a great fight, and a great fight for the fans. And it will finally give boxing people interested in the heavyweight division looking at, these guys have skills. They can fight and they can make interesting bouts.
Well, Eddie, we will see you and your hair on January 21st. Thanks, man.
I think you might just see my hair.